Welcome to UK Coin, the channel where we uncover the hidden history and value behind the coins in your collection. In today's episode, we'll focus on 3 Canadian 1-cent coins from different years: 1962, 1968, and 1969. These coins may seem ordinary, but they hold fascinating stories, unique design features, and in some cases, surprising value for collectors. Let's dive straight in and explore each coin in detail. Next, let's talk about the 1969 Canada 1 cent. This coin is part of the last series to feature the young head effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, as new design would be introduced in 1970. This gives the 1969 penny a unique place in Canadian numismatic history, marking the end of an era. The reverse side continues to display the beloved maple leaves design, which has become synonymous with Canadian identity. The coin's composition remained bronze-plated steel, consistent with the changes introduced in 1968. However, the mintage for 1969 was significantly lower than previous years, with approximately 175 million coins struck. This lower production figure adds a slight element of scarcity, particularly for coins in high-grade condition. In the collector's market, the 1969 penny is particularly prized when found in uncirculated or near pristine condition. Circulated examples are generally valued at face value or slightly above, but mint-state coins with sharp details and full luster can fetch $10 to $40. Era coins from this year are especially interesting to collectors. Examples include doubled dies, off-center strikes, and coins with incomplete plating. One notable era is the split planchet era, where the coin's steel core separates, creating a visibly flawed surface. These rare anomalies can sell for $100 or more, depending on their uniqueness and condition. The 1969 Canada 1 cent is a must-have for any collector interested in Queen Elizabeth II coinage or the evolution of Canadian pennies. Its relatively low mintage and the historical context of its design make it a standout piece. Whether you're drawn to its artistic features, its history, or its potential value, this coin is a fascinating part of Canada's numismatic heritage. Next, start with the 1962 Canada 1 cent. This coin was minted at a time when the Canadian economy was thriving and the cent was still an essential part of daily life. The design of the 1962 penny was the work of George Kruger Gray, whose initials can be seen at the bottom of the reverse side. On the obverse side, you'll find the first effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gilliff. This portrait, often referred to as the young head design, features a youthful depiction of the Queen without a crown, symbolizing her fresh ascension to the throne just a decade earlier. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic maple leaves, a symbol deeply tied to Canadian identity, flanked by the denomination and the word Canada. The 1962 1-cent coin was struck primarily in bronze, a composition of 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc. This high copper content gives the coin its rich reddish-brown tone when in uncirculated condition, though many circulating examples have developed a darker patina over time. In terms of mintage, over 279 million coins were produced in 1962, making it a common year for collectors. However, rarity and value can come into play when considering factors such as condition, errors, or striking anomalies. One of the most notable aspects of the 1962 Canada 1 cent is its affordability for beginner collectors. A circulated example can often be found for as little as a few cents, while higher-grade specimens with full mint luster can fetch anywhere from $5 to $20. Additionally, proof-like or specimen coins struck with special care are particularly sought after and can command higher prices. Errors or varieties add another layer of intrigue. For example, a doubled die obverse, where elements of the design appear slightly doubled, or off-center strikes can significantly increase the coin's value. These errors can be forged between $50 to $200 depending on their visibility and overall condition. Collectors are drawn to the 1962 penny for its historical significance and its representation of early Queen Elizabeth II's coinage. Its design is timeless, and its affordability makes it an excellent choice for those looking to start a Canadian penny collection. Whether you're after an era coin or just a pristine uncirculated piece, the 1962 Canada 1 cent remains a staple of Canadian numismatics. Next, On to the 1968 Canada 1 cent. This coin stands out due to a significant change in its composition. In 1968, the Canadian government shifted from using bronze to using a bronze-plated steel for its pennies. This change was primarily driven by rising copper prices, making the production of coins more cost-efficient. As a result, the 1968 penny has a noticeably different weight and feel compared to earlier coins. The obverse of the coin still features the same Mary Gillick effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, maintaining continuity in the coinage. The reverse, too, remains unchanged, with the iconic maple leaves design by George Kruger Gray. Despite the composition change, the coin retained a similar reddish tone thanks to its bronze plating. However, over time, many of these coins have developed distinctive wear patterns, revealing their steel core. Mintage for the 1968 1-cent coin was approximately 354 million, making it another high-production year. This abundance means that circulated examples are easy to find and generally hold little monetary value. However, uncirculated examples with their original shine and proof-like finishes are far more desirable, often selling for $10 to $30. Errors, once again, can make a significant difference in value. One well-known error for the 1968 penny is the missing chrome variety, where parts of the bronze plating are absent, exposing the steel core. Coins with this error are highly sought after by collectors and can sell for upwards of $100. The 1968 penny is a fascinating addition to any collection, not just for its aesthetic and historical appeal, but also for its pivotal role in the transition of Canadian coinage materials. Collectors appreciate it for its durability and the unique story it tells about the challenges of producing coinage during that period. Whether you are searching for an uncirculated gem or an intriguing era coin, the 1968 Canada 1 cent has something for everyone. Next, let's start with the 1964 Canada 1 cent. This coin was minted in the midst of the early 1960s, a period that saw Canada as a nation entering a time of major change. By this time, Canada had been a fully independent country for decades, and its economy was growing. The 1964 penny was a representation of Canada's post-World War II prosperity. The design features the iconic maple leaves, a symbol of national pride, crafted by artist George Kruger Gray. The obverse features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick. This version of the Queen is young and poised, a reflection of the time of her early reign when this coin was minted. The 1964 Canada 1 cent is composed of bronze, specifically 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc, which gives it its reddish-brown appearance. Over time, many circulated coins have tarnished, with most losing their luster. However, the overall composition gives the coin its durability. The design of the coin remained largely unchanged from previous years, with the maple leaves symbolizing the natural beauty of Canada and being central to the coin's reverse. On the obverse, Queen Elizabeth II's portrait exudes a sense of strength and elegance. In terms of mintage, over 501 million 1964 Canada 1 cent coins were produced. This large mintage makes the coin relatively common and easy to find, which means it doesn't carry a high value in circulated condition. A typical 1964 penny, found in average condition, might fetch only a few cents above its face value. However, when looking for higher value pieces, collectors focus on coins that are in mint or near mint condition. A 1964 penny in uncirculated condition can be worth anywhere from $10 to $20, while a proof coin, minted with extra care and used for collector's sets, could sell for $50 or more depending on its condition. Even in lower grades, certain 1964 Canada 1 cent coins can have added interest. Coins with errors or variations can fetch more money. For example, a doubled die error, where the image on the coin appears more than once, is a rare but highly prized variation. These errors, though not very common, can increase a coin's value substantially. A well-documented 1964 double die penny can be worth hundreds of dollars, depending on the severity of the error and its condition. Another error that sometimes appears in the 1964 pennies is the off-center strike, which occurs when the coin isn't perfectly aligned when being struck, making for an interesting and valuable collector's item. The 1964 Canada 1 cent is highly collectible for those interested in Queen Elizabeth II's early reign and those fascinated by the history of Canadian coinage. Its large mintage doesn't diminish its importance, and even worn examples have a place in Canadian numismatics. Its age is barely recognizable and often contains a priceless Apollo crayons. Now, let's talk about the 1974 Canada 1 cent in bad condition. The 1974 penny marks another milestone in Canadian coinage. By this time, Canada had fully embraced its post-Confederation identity. The country had undergone massive changes in the previous decades, economically, politically, and culturally, and these shifts were reflected in the everyday currency. The design of the 1974 Canada 1 cent was essentially the same as its predecessors, featuring the maple leaves on the reverse and the same effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. However, the composition of the coin had already transitioned to bronze-plated steel in 1968, replacing the old bronze composition that had been used up until then. This new material made coins lighter and less expensive to produce, a shift driven by the increasing costs of copper. The 1974 penny remains a product of this new era in Canadian coinage. The design features on the 1974 penny are almost identical to those from earlier years. On the obverse, Queen Elizabeth II's portrait is still the work of Mary Gillick, and on the reverse, the maple leaves remain as the defining feature, symbolizing the natural beauty and identity of Canada. However, due to the change in materials, the 1974 penny has a different feel compared to older pennies. It's made from a steel core plated with bronze, giving it a less substantial feel, especially when compared to earlier copper-based coins. In terms of mintage, the 1974 Canada 1 cent was struck in very high numbers, with well over 1 billion coins produced in that year alone. This makes the 1974 penny one of the most common in Canadian history. Unfortunately, this large mintage means that the 1974 penny, in general, holds little value in circulated condition. Coins that are in bad condition, whether due to wear and tear, corrosion, or other factors, are often worth very little above their face value. A 1974 penny in poor condition can usually be found for less than $1. This doesn't mean, however, that a 1974 penny in bad condition is without interest. Collectors are often drawn to the historical context of a coin, and the 1974 Canada 1 cent is no exception. Though it may be common, it serves as a reminder of Canada's evolving economy and the material changes that occurred in response to economic pressures. However, even a penny in bad condition can hold interest due to the possibility of errors or other anomalies. A 1974 penny that has been improperly struck or features some kind of error, such as an off-center strike, could become a much more valuable item for a collector. For example, an off-center or misaligned 1974 penny could see an increase in value if it's unusual enough. Coins that are damaged or worn in interesting ways, whether through overstrikes, doubling, or a completely irregular design, can be highly collectible. In summary, the 1974 Canada 1 cent in bad condition may not initially seem to be worth much, but each coin holds an important place in Canadian numismatic history. The 1964 penny offers a glimpse into Canada's economic prosperity in the early 1960s, and although common, it is still prized in higher grades. Meanwhile, the 1974 penny in bad condition represents a shift in Canada's coinage and is a reminder of the times when the nation faced new economic realities. For collectors, even a worn coin holds value, not just in monetary terms, but in its historical and cultural significance. Whether you are a seasoned collector looking for a unique addition to your set, or someone who simply enjoys the rich history of Canadian coinage, these pennies offer a lot to explore. Don't forget to check your collection. Sometimes the value of a coin can lie in the most unexpected places. Thanks for tuning in to UK Coin. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin stories, tips, and deep dives into the fascinating world of numismatics. Until next time, happy collecting.